Hello, my fellow family budget fishermen. My name is Malik Currington, your host, the Family Budget Fisherman. It had just occurred to me while I was working on the last video that you all saw on Friday the 18th, that 1 week after Friday the 18th is Friday the 25th, when this video would normally go out. That's why you're seeing it on the 23rd. Of course, I recorded this hours after I recorded the last one, but it's going to post on the 20th. It posts today on the 23rd, and that's because I wanted to make sure you got this information, whatever is going to help you here, that you get it prior to Christmas Eve, and then of course on Christmas. And then of course you should, I don't know, do people watch fishing videos on Christmas? I hope not. I mean, unless I know we're dealing with the whole pandemic situation where we might have the time to do it, but my hope is that you get an opportunity to spend time with your family, and this information can be very useful to you on another day. Having said that, that's why you got it on the 23rd rather than on the 25th. So I also want to mention, prior to moving forward, one of my subscribers wanted to know, am I familiar with the Daiwa Tatula cork handle? And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned, yes, I am. And as I mentioned to another subscriber before that person, there was supposed to be a review of this coming out last week, but if you remember, if you heard what I had to say in last week's video regarding my Black Friday experience, it experienced some dark times and I had to work through those. So now I'm going to be posting next week, a video of me using this device, of this weapon, this member of the arsenal. I'm going to be fishing with it. I'm going to be pairing it up with my Abu Garcia Revo X30. And if you remember, I also use the Fins 40G braided line. This is the 2-pound test diameter with a rated break strength of 15-pound test. It also says here, actual break without a knot is 26 pounds, which makes it, in my opinion, a much more durable braid than what is available in the market today. The diameter is equivalent to 2-pound test. So I used to throw Power Pro, both the regular and the Slick 8. I didn't get to version 2, but I do know that their diameter is 15 pounds. I call it 415. 4-pound test diameter, 15-pound test break strength. This is 2 pounds. So guess what? I can cast a lure a lot further with this. And these guys are braid manufacturers. They actually manufacture braid for just about everybody except for Power Pro, because Shimano does their own work. But a lot of other companies depend on this particular company. I say all that to say this is a great company to consider. I'm not getting paid for any of this. My channel's not big enough for anyone to really see it that I'm aware of, but I really like this line. And if you want to know more about it, see some of my prior videos when I actually talk about this, and you get a real good education on the line and my experience with it. But I'll be pairing it with that. And if I decide to put a leader on it, which I more than likely will, I will be using the Trilene 20-pound test fluorocarbon. And my leaders aren't that long. My leaders are usually about between 2 and 3 feet long. And look again at some of my prior videos to see why. So that's how that will be set up, and you'll get an opportunity to see some of the results, and I think they'll be great results. So as promised, here are the soft baits and the hooks that I purchased this week. And remember, our number was 40%, still 40% that I saved on the retail purchases of these items. And when you calculate that 40%, it actually, it was a lot of money that was saved. So I don't, again, as I always say, the goal here is to purchase as high-end equipment as we can afford in our family budgets without breaking our family budgets. So the items that I share with you don't need formal introduction. I don't have to describe or go into it. It's not a lot of brand new stuff. I may have an item or two in here that's brand new, but most of the stuff you're familiar with. So for example, the Kitech, this is the 3.3 inch. And the reason I got it, and I want to mention that to you, Tactical Bassin. Matt Allen and Tim, what's Tim's last name? I forget Tim, but Matt and Tim. Tim Little. Matt Allen was mentioning that the 3.3 inch runs a bit better on the spinnerbait and on the chatterbait than the 3.8s and the 4.8s. I know a lot of you throw the bigger baits, but I'm going to try it with the 3.3 because in all my decades, and I've caught a lot of big bass in my decades of fishing, I have never used a trailer on my spinnerbaits or my chatterbaits. So this is going to be new forage for me. This, of course, is Bass Pro Shop's version of it, and these are 3-inch. And this version is the male perch. And this is Berkeley's version of the Kitech. I'm just going to get everybody out. 3.3 inches. And this version is the Bluegill Flash. Okay. So we got the Kitech. We got the Speed Shad. And then we got Berkeley's version. Okay. So I got some of those. I think I got several of those. Did I get any more? No, not in this batch. You did see them in the first batch, wherever that batch went. They're all in there now. I got some white ones there. So also I got into, I'm starting to get into the Guggen baits. These are 2 more Guggen baits that I purchased. This is their Kraken Crawl Watermelon Red Flake, and this is the, this is the Bandito Bug Watermelon Red Flake, and this is the Kraken Crawl Natural. I'm just gonna put them both up like this. They don't really need a real big introduction because you know these baits. I think they were $6 and I got them for like three something. 40% off of, what's 40% off of 6? So big bite baits. This is the 3.5 inch brown bait. It's called the Collage Crawl. I got it because it's a pretty color. I mean, that color is really nice. And that's gonna look good with some of my swim baits. Yes, I throw swim baits on a spinning rig. Here is, this is some tube baits. And I like these because the Impulse is a company I'm not as familiar with, but these bad boys are pretty heavy. They're short. This is a gray with black flake in it, heavy, and they're full of salt. Okay. And here's some more big bite baits. I mean, they're coming out with some really nice looking colors. I got to give it to them. I'm going to take this out so you can see it if you can. That is a really nice color. And this color is called Chick Magnet. Now, I've been married for over 20 years. So, you know, the only chick that I'm magneting right now is the one that I now have children and grandchildren by. Thank you, Lord. She is the best thing that ever happened to me other than me becoming a Christian. Uh, baby shad, swimmer green. These are some crappie jigs that I purchased right there. I love those colors that they call them. Yeah, I guess that's a Marvel comic reference there. I got 2 Crappie Magic by Lucky Strike. And they're white with black curly tails. Lost Creek. I don't know if you all are familiar with Lost Creek, but Lost Creek happens to be Sportsman's Warehouse. That's their house brand. And this is their beaver rendition of that. I got 2 colors. I got the new sand and I got the sunfish laminate. Both of them are great looking colors. Now, I don't know how good they are because I just got them. I don't know how they compare to the original Reaction Innovations version, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. Here is another little interesting thing. This happened to be in one of their bins. This is a swim bait. It's a soft swim bait, and this is called the Smelt Minnow. And these appear to be about 4 inches long. It actually does not say it on the package, but let me tell you how limber these things are. I'm going to pull this out real quick and show it to you. These things are super duper limber. Look at this. Look at that. And I'm just assuming that they swim pretty well. I mean, that's a good looking bait right there. So I got 3 packs of those because I like swimming that. You can set this up for reaction and for finesse. Something that I threw in my bag, and to be honest with you, I was moving through Sportsman's Warehouse and I just didn't even figure it out that I threw in some brush hogs. These are super hogs, green, pumpkin, purple. And, Zoom, we all know Zoom. Everybody knows Zoom. And so I got some of those. From Missile Baits, got the Ned Bomb. Now, I got a bunch of Ned Bombs, but this one, a watermelon red core, I thought that was an interesting color to use, particularly in California waters where we do have a lot of red, what we used to call red devil crawfish. So I thought that would be interesting, particularly now in the wintertime. I got some curly tails. Let's see, thought I got 2. All right, 2 different companies. Yum, this is their pearl green, and the Fat Albert Grub by Zoom. And both of these are 4-inch curly tails. And I just want to say to all of you bass folks, all of us who love to catch bass, to get back into curly tails. Edwin Evers did a really good instructional on the curly tail. I still throw curly tails, been throwing them for decades. I never stopped throwing them. But I know we've gotten all into the swim bait craze. We believe that, let me hold up the OG Kitech, but I'm telling you, this curly tail is tried and true. While everybody's throwing this Kitech, pull out one of these curly tails, because since very few people by comparison are throwing it, you're throwing something that today's bass hasn't seen in a long, long time. Just to let you know. These are RoboWorms version of the Ned rig, and I like them for the colors. Green pumpkin perch. Needs no introduction there. Something that does need slight introduction. This is a company called Dry Creek Custom Baits. It says just add water, tons of salt. These are the 2.25-inch steely tubes, and this is in their creek sand and in their pearl. All of you have heard me say many, many times, I am a multi-species fisherman. And when I go for crappie in particular, that's something that should have been on last week's video, or last Friday's video. When I go for crappie, I'm going for crappie that are, most of the time when I go, I like to fish for the big schools and get the 1.5 pounds and maybe even the 2 pounders, but mostly pound and 1.5 pounders. But if you want to go for those big 2.5, 3 pound, 3.5, 4 pound crappie, you got to get in there in spots where the bass are. You got to get in the thick stuff. You almost have to punch for some of these. So you'll see me have baits that accommodate if I'm going to catch a 2 pound and 3 pound crappie or even a 4 pound crappie, that I'm also going to catch a similar size bass. So 2, 3, or 4 pounds. And these 2-inch baits, 2.5-inch baits, 3-inch baits usually accommodate both of those. Okay. Now, so here's some tube baits. There's some more tube baits I got in here. And these are Lost Creek. Again, that's the house brand of Sportsman's Warehouse. This is supposed to have been in last Friday's video. This is another Strike King dives a 12-foot crawdad crankbait. I think you guys are not going to hit me too hard for having that. Here is a 2-inch curly tail, and I like it because the way that it's shaped, again, by that company called Impulse, the same company that makes this here and makes another tube that I have down in here, this tube here. And I got it because I wanted to try it. Now, for those of you who like to throw nets, and I use these for more than just net fishing. Berkeley has half-head jig heads, and you may have seen these. I love these. And number one, the main reason why I like those so much, and I got them in black. What color is this? This is more of a brown color here. And I got them, these are 1/16s. This is a 1/8. I got a white and green pumpkin version. And then I got the 1/4 ounce in the chartreuse. And the reason why I like to use those is because they have American measurements. I understand those of you who like to go with 1/5 and 1/10 and all, 1/6 and all that. I like these. When I say American, it's 1/6 and 1/10. Those are American measurements. But I'm not familiar with those measurements. I'm familiar with the 132, 1/16, 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 3/4, 1/2 ounce. That's what I'm familiar with. I'm not familiar with all that other stuff. And at this point in my life, I don't want to change. I don't want to learn that new trick. I'll throw it if I have to, but at this point, I don't have to. Okay. So here we go. These are owner bullet types, and basically these are wide gap jig heads with. I like the heads on those. They almost look like darter heads. And I like to use those. I have used them and have done well. I've used them on swim baits, but I like to use them on worms. I like to use them on this type of swim bait. I'll use them also on tubes. I like to use them on tubes, especially the big tubes, the longer ones, 3.5-inch, 4-inch tubes. And I like those because they do what I need them to do when I have to get into heavier color. Now this is a 3/16 ounce. You know, it's not going to be used for punching and all that, but it'll do what it needs to do. Here I go with these 2 ounce, the 1/16 ounce swim bait hooks. There you go. I can use them on there. 1/16 ounce. Sometimes your swim bait doesn't need to fall precipitously. It needs to fall more gradually, and that's what I use it for. Then, Lost Creek again. This is the house brand, Sportsman's Warehouse. I got some of their hooks, and you can use these hooks. A lot of people like to use these hooks for shaky head, but you can use them for just about anything. Just imagine what you could use them for. They're primarily used for shaky head, though. And these are what is it? This is a 4-pack, 3/16-ounce head. And I want to say those are 3/0 hooks. They might be 3/0 hooks. They're not wide gap, but I got them. And just so that you know, you say, boy, that's the house brand. Well, the house brand is using the Gamakatsus. So go figure. Then last but not least, jig heads. Now, I bought some of these, the Trocar. Go back and look at my video on the Trocar hooks. I still got a lot of those hooks. These are designed very similarly. I'm going to take these out. You probably won't be able to see them because of the distance between where I am and the camera is really not. I'm about maybe 6 or 7 feet away from that camera. But I don't know if you can see that, but it's designed to be weedless, to be able to hook it on there and then bury this point inside the tube. And so I'm going to try it, see how it works out. Got you. Okay. So that's everything there. So on January 23rd, December 23rd, 2020, this is what I purchased. Like I said, so far my ultimate average, I have saved 40% off of all of my equipment. Now, I want to mention to you, if you go back and look at some of my earlier videos, my preparation for savings didn't begin during Black Friday. For example, a lot of this started off with me purchasing, you probably can't see it in the screen right now, but there's a portable power station by a company called Goal Zero. When I made that purchase and I got some holiday bucks, well, I got a $30 discount on that when I made the purchase using a particular coupon that was offered by Sportsman's Warehouse. And then I got a $25 holiday bucks because I purchased more than $150. I got that for that. And then this rod right here, which was replacing one of my, my tattoo, not Tatula, but one of my Shimano Corrado spinning rods, because my tip broke on the Shimano Corrado spinning rod. And because of Shimano's return policy, I thought, you know what, let me just go in and just try something different. And so I purchased this. Now this retails for $169. I got it for $30 off. And then they also gave me the $25 holiday bucks, which is why I took that $50 in holiday bucks later on, and I bought those $50 worth of gifts, if you remember, and those $50 worth of gifts cost me $3. And I call them gifts, but tackle. And I also had a $30 off coupon for the Phoenix rod, and I used that. So as you can see, I'm using whatever they have available to get those prices down. I'm out of those, what they call legacy coupons. I don't know if they even offer them anymore in the stores, but it was interesting because they went past their expiration period, so you could use them at any time, and I did. So I say all that to say this: keep strategizing. Don't let holidays and all that stuff. Don't let all of that get you knocked off of your strategy. If you want to save money on fishing equipment, this is the best way to do it. Focus all of your effort, most of your efforts on doing it, and you can have a whole lot of fishing equipment that you didn't pay a whole lot of money for. So the goal here is what? To never break your family's budget, trying to buy all this fishing equipment, but do everything you can to break your personal best. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you between Christmas and the New Year, but have a fantastic Christmas. Enjoy your family to the best that you're able, and may God bless every single one of you to be happy, healthy, and safe. I'll see you next time.